Hello, this is Chris Godwin. I'm on the roof of Nissan and McKinney and McKinney Buick GMC, and as you can see, it's day 4 and my 5 o'clock shadow has turned into a full beard. I'm today again going to be interviewing people from our local community, and I have Stacy Durham here from the McKinney Fire Department. The McKinney Fire Department specializes in fire prevention and responds to requests for general fire inspections. They help citizens with code-related questions and assist fire crews and property owners in the investigation of fires. The Operations Division includes all emergency response functions from 8 fire stations that are staffed 24/7 throughout the city. And I understand they're just a lot more than fire departments. They have a front line of safety for fire prevention.
Absolutely, that's correct. We do many more things than just go out and respond to fire calls. As you mentioned, we do inspections. We work with plans review and code enforcement. When you were building this facility, it had to go through the fire prevention office and have all your plans to make sure it met the life safety codes and that it would be as safe as it could for everyone. We also have the EMS function, emergency medical services. We run the ambulance services for first responders in McKinney. I personally work in the Fire and Life Safety Division, which is the public education and more or less community relations area of the department.
Well, tell me a little bit more about your department, because we know that obviously things are going to happen, but we want to keep those various tragedies from taking the life or taking somebody's home or causing somebody to get hurt. Tell me a little bit about the safety front.
All right, well, I'm out in the community on a daily basis. I do all sorts of different programs. We go into the schools, almost all levels of the school district. We are on their campuses, usually several times a year. We do a lot of focus with elementary and middle school students. We have a curriculum called Wristwatch that focuses on the 8 most dangerous or threats to children. I can't name all 8 of them off the top of my head, but we're talking fire safety, bicycle helmets, firearm safety, fall, water safety, and things like that. So we're in the schools, and as a matter of fact, that curriculum is implemented through the health and PE curriculum of the school district, so it's actually taught by the teachers.
Now, that's frontline prevention. Of course, home fires are something that's probably prevalent and a big part of what you do. How can people protect their homes? What are the most common things that people do or don't do and forget, and then end up waking up in the middle of the night with basically having their homes on fire?
Well, the most common cause of home fires is unattended cooking. And that's across the country, not just McKinney. What we see is people put something on the stove, they forget about it. What I always say to people is, I know you want to catch that episode of Desperate Housewives to see what Gabby's doing this week, but you got to stay in that kitchen. When you walk out, turn the burner off if you have to, if it's something on the stove top. Don't get on the phone and start talking to your best bud, because you'll forget that you left it going. That's the most common cause of home fires. The most common causes of death in home fires are smoking related. Bottom line, people falling asleep smoking, maybe in their recliner, maybe watching television, maybe smoking in bed or something like that. That causes the most home fire deaths. Don't smoke in bed, don't smoke when you're sleeping, and smoke outside if you have to smoke.
Wow, I would have never thought. If I had to sit here and guess, I would say it's candles, because I walk behind my wife blowing out candles. It seems like every time she's lighting them, because I don't think you need one candle burning in one room and you're in another.
Yeah.
And then when we leave the house, it's like an extra 10 minutes because I have to go in every room and check to see that she has that candle in there. Is there very many candle fires?
We don't see really a lot of candle fires. One thing that I strongly recommend for people now, they have these great battery-powered candles. I don't know if you've seen them like at different stores, Pier 1 and places like that. They're actually wax candles, and they can have a very realistic appearance. They even make them with their fragrance now. And if you put one of those in a candle holder, unless somebody just walks over and really looks at it, they're not going to tell the difference. So you get the fragrance and you get the ambiance, if that's what you're looking for. and it's also fire safe.
Now, I know a big part of what you do is also EMS services, and we were talking earlier, and you said that just about everybody was trained on the emergency medical side. Tell me a little bit about what people can do externally for themselves in extreme heats. If they're outside, what do you see, and what can we do to protect ourselves?
Well, the main thing that you need to do is stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water. If you're working outdoors, if you're an athlete, what we see primarily is young children, the elderly, and individuals who work outside, and athletes who suffer the adverse effects of heat the most. Stay hydrated, take frequent rest breaks in the shade, spend as much time as you can in the air conditioning. The recommendation is that, or the statistic is, if you spend as little as 2 hours a day in an air-conditioned environment, you can significantly reduce your risk of suffering a heat-related illness. So if you need to, everybody's looking for an excuse to go to the mall or go to Walmart or something like that. If that's not feasible for you, go to the library. You can sit in the library and read for a couple of hours. Also, most of the Salvation Army headquarters in the area have what they call cooling stations. The Salvation Army in McKinney has a cooling station that's open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. So you can stop in there, you can cool off in the air conditioning, they'll give you cold water to drink. When you're working outdoors, wear long sleeves, loose-fitting clothes, light-colored clothing, and a wide-brimmed hat.
One of the questions here is, are there different types of heat-related illnesses, and what should someone do if they suspect they're actually suffering from one? What do they do to get a hold of maybe the fire medical safety? Who do they call?
Well, if you suspect that you're suffering from a heat-related illness, then and you're starting to feel nauseous or faint, especially if you are not sweating like you should be, that's an indication that you're getting severely dehydrated, then you need to call 911 immediately. Get to a cool place. Sometimes people will become disoriented. It may be up to the people who are around them to recognize what's going on and to help take care of them, to get them to a cool place, to call 911 for them. If they are not responsive, you can wrap them in a cool sheet. You can place cool compresses on their wrist, their groin, around their neck, in that area. In these areas, the blood is especially close to the top of the skin, so those cool compresses will begin to cool the blood while you're waiting for EMS help to arrive.
Well, it sounds like you're highly educated in this field, and we appreciate you coming by. Is there anything else that we should know about your organization?
Well, one thing that I would like to touch on real quickly, the most important thing that you can do in your home to protect your home and your property and your life is have working smoke alarms. You need to have working smoke alarms inside every bedroom. You need to have them in hallways outside every sleeping area. And you need them in living areas where people may fall asleep. I'm notorious for dozing in my recliner watching TV at night. Well, you need to have a smoke alarm in that living area. Don't ever disconnect them. Don't ever borrow the battery out of it to put it in something else, because you'll forget to put it back.
I'm laughing because I have one that's down right now.
Oh my goodness. No, we don't ever want to do that. And a real big recommendation that we make now is that you put 10-year lithium batteries in your smoke alarms. You can buy these 10-year batteries, so they don't necessarily have to be changed yearly, but you still need to test them every month. So that is my biggest point to give to the public is be sure you have an adequate number of smoke alarms, and don't ever take the batteries out of them and borrow them for something else.
Well, I appreciate you coming out. It sounds like most of the organizations we talk to, it always comes down to prevention. If we're talking heat-related issues, it always comes down to having the proper hydration. So we thank you so much for coming by. We thank you for visiting us with us today, and hopefully we can get this message out to as many people as possible. I know that I've taken a couple of things away from it, and as soon as I get down, honey, I promise I'm going to get on the ladder and I'll replace the battery on that smoke alarm that we had to take out in the middle of the night a couple of months ago. So here I am on the roof 24/7. You can watch our live webcast. We are down right now, but we do have IT guys is here right now trying to get us back up with audio so that you can see what's going on up here on the roof. And we're going to have our live special, so you can go to NissanandMcKinney.com or McKinneyBuickGMC.com or join our Facebook page. Are you ready? You got to wave to the camera because we're leaving. See you now. Thank you so much.